Welcome back to McChats here on McGTV, youtube.com/MikeMcGTV. Follow me also on Twitter at MikeMcGTV. I really didn't want to do a podcast like this, but YouTube for the past couple of weeks has kind of forced my hand about it. To start off with, I'm not one to fall into YouTube drama stuff necessarily. If I'm a guest commentator on something like This Is Most Unorthodox or things like that, I'll give my 2 cents. I am in the know about certain things that happen on this platform. And yeah, maybe I'll give a brief kind of insight into it. And I kind of gave an insight into what's been going on with my channel lately with regards to monetization and things like that the past couple of weeks. I did speak on that over at the Most Unorthodox podcast on 3 Geeks, which I'll link down below as well. So you can have a listen there about a bunch of stuff, not just this. But I also wanted to kind of give my 2 cents with regards to my own history with the platform and the ups and definitely the downs that I've had since coming to YouTube. I have spoken in the past about how I originally was on the Blip platform for many years and was happy over there. Actually got checks from the Blip platform over there for my content, but that wasn't necessarily the main drive for me. I felt really unrestricted and free to say what I wanted, to critique how I wanted, and that I was covered with regards to fair use and things like that. And it was fun. It was fun creating videos on that platform. And it is fun to create videos on this platform still. But lately, I've just noticed something that, while in the long run isn't going to hinder my video output or hinder my creativity or what I want to say, I can see it as being a precursor to ultimately affecting anyone who would want to take this up, either as their main source of income, as a living, or as just a nice passion project or side project like I have done. YouTube is not my primary source of income. My God, if it was, I would be in a dumpster right now because I'm small fry. I've only got 80 some subscribers. I'm only pulling in average about like 40 views on a video. I mean, I've had big hits, don't get me wrong. I've had videos that get up into the thousands and things like that, but I know that ultimately I'm not a high roller on YouTube compared to, definitely not compared to the people who are in the 50 some million subscribers, or even like smaller channels that only have a couple of thousand. Like, I am bottom rung. I completely get that, but I don't care because this is a platform where I feel comfortable talking about whatever I want to talk about. More often than not, it's about geeky stuff. It's about movies, comics, books, topics that I just find interesting for that particular day. It's about connecting with friends and talking about stuff with them, like with Max on To the Chat Cave, or like with Dan on this very podcast about movies that are cheesy, fun horror flicks we enjoy, or just shooting the breeze, reconnecting with old friends like I did with my buddy Josh, who I haven't seen in years in person, but thank God for Skype and thank God for him allowing me to post our ramblings on YouTube. Like, I enjoy that. Lately, there's a lot of things that YouTube, I feel, has been very reactionary about with regards to how they handle not just content on their platform, but also how they handle facilitating that content in tandem with advertisements, and in order to appease big advertisers, but at the same time not seem disingenuous about their saying you can broadcast yourself. Let me give YouTube kudos where kudos is deserved. They helped me out about a month ago in a bind. Really well done. Thank you so much on that aspect of it. Basically, there was a predatory channel that was on YouTube that had essentially copied a lot of my highly viewed videos for its own purposes, and not like constructive criticism or using it for fair use or anything like that, but to just basically say, take a Remake Revolution episode in its entirety, copy it, download it from my site, post it onto their YouTube channel, and claim it was their content and that they were getting views off of that for a couple of months. Now, the reason they were getting views off of my stuff essentially for a couple of months was because, yeah, I am small fry and that stuff wouldn't come up in notifications for people following me probably. They wouldn't know to report that stuff. Thankfully, one day I was trying to find links for my own content and I'd forgotten the URLs. And so I was trying to look up those videos so I could link them in some of my other videos here on my own page. And wouldn't you know it, this other channel's copied content from me showed up first. So I started sifting through the channel and to see like, oh, wow, you just copied my videos wholesale and just plastered them all over your page. Okay, cool. Well, I'm reporting you. So reported several of the videos on there. And YouTube was swift and efficient in not just, striking copyright strikes against them, but taking the channel down, which is appropriate because the only thing on the channel was my stuff being parroted. So thank you for that, YouTube. You were swift and efficient in actually being hands-on and dealing with that situation. You got my back. But then a couple of weeks go by, and now this new way of signifying which videos aren't ad revenue friendly came in. And you don't have my back, YouTube. Again, I want to just stress that I just find this more interesting. It is a little annoying and infuriating because, it could be whatever little money I could make off of these videos. That would be appreciated. But like I said, YouTube isn't a primary source of income. It's not going to determine my rent or my bills or anything like that. It's purely just something I do on the side. But you can't help but think that if this is the way things keep rolling, that it won't just be demonetization that comes into consideration for, let's say, platform-wide sanitization, I like to call it. So, to start off with, I have about 20-some videos that fall under YouTube's new demonetization classification, in which it's limited or no ads. Now, there's only one video on my entire page that has absolutely no monetization associated with it due to someone claiming copyright on it, and that is my Task Force X Comic-Con parody video. And I'm guessing the reason why is because Columbia Records or whoever owns the Men in Black instrumental track heard the song, didn't hear that I was doing a parody on the song at all, and claimed it for themselves. But they're being cool about it. They're letting me keep the video up. I don't care if I don't make any money off of that. It's just more for the fun of it. And yeah, its viewership hasn't really been one of the stellar videos on the site. So I'm not really that concerned about that. But that's the only video in which I can't claim money on it due to an outside party getting the claim there. Rightly so. But this limited to no ads classification apparently just went through my entire back catalog. And it seems so random. And the thing is that it's supposed to notify you if it was demonetized manually by an actual flesh and blood person. I believe the classification goes on hand or at the very bottom of your video description or underneath all the not suitable for all advertisers reviewer request or request review. It's supposed to say manual review conducted, something along those lines. In other words, an actual human being sat down, looked at my Tommy Wiseau McChats video and said, this isn't suitable for advertisers. We're going to limit or do away with monetization on this particular video. That's not the case with any of these videos. There is no manual review conducted notification underneath any of my videos here. And in the case of some of my more recent uploads, when it's for example, my newest video, and this is really the straw that broke the camel's back with regards to me talking about this in a McChat. My most recent video after this podcast was my review of the Defenders series on Netflix and The Tick. Now, go over and watch the video because I want to give you my 2 cents. I don't care if I'm not making money on it right now or anything like that. Just go watch it. Have a good time. Laugh with me, agree with me, disagree with me, comment, like, dislike. I don't care. Interact with it. Have fun with it. For those who have been following me, you do know that my format for reviews is typically just me in front of the camera talking about the stuff. There's nothing there with regards to copyright. I rarely and never really say anything extremely insightful or insightful. I hope I say insightful stuff. What's the word I'm looking for? Controversial, let's say. I was looking for something to go along the lines of incite people, like INCITE, like to stir up trouble. I rarely say anything for the purpose of hate or fear mongering or anything like that, because the stuff I cover on my page doesn't fall under those categories. It's talking about movies, TV shows, fictional characters, complete bullshit. So there's no reason to have such a, let's say, heated or vitriolic response to those things. You know, with regards to content, it's pretty tame and advertiser friendly, I would like to think. So that video, it's a 17-minute video. Within 2 minutes of it being uploaded, I received notification that it's going to receive limited to no ads. Within 2 minutes, the algorithm determined that this 17-minute long video was unsuitable for advertisers. Based off of what criteria? All it has is me talking in front of a camera, actually recommending the shows, saying critical things, but also saying good things. Being very pleasant, not having an exorbitant amount of colorful or, let's say, malicious language. Not at all. And my thumbnail is very simple. It says TV Roundup, The Defenders and the Tick reviews. My face, the Tick, and the Defenders on there. So that you know what the video's about, aside from just the title, right? And so you have a thumbnail actually pertaining to the actual video. So not misleading, not violating that community guideline at all of the old bait and switch type of video. No, what you see is what you get. But the algorithm doesn't care. I don't know why. That's the problem here. It's not necessarily about the video being deemed not advertiser friendly. I wouldn't have a problem with that if an actual person saw the video and, based off of YouTube's criteria, determined it wasn't. This algorithm has no rhyme or reason as to why it's deeming these videos not advertiser friendly. What about anything in the title or in the search criteria for a video about the Defenders, the Tick, Netflix, Amazon? What exactly in that search criteria is controversial? What exactly in that search criteria is taboo? Or you feel some big advertisers would shake their heads at? And that's the problem with having an automated system do your dirty work, is that it's doing this based off of some kind of just number fluctuation. It's not doing this based off of the actual content itself, not going in with a very objective eye and reviewing every second of the video. It's purely just blocking the video from receiving any kind of compensation based off of a formula. And okay, so here's the variety of different videos. I'm just going to list off a couple here that have been deemed not advertiser friendly. There's that review of The Defenders and the Tick. My discussion with Dan about the Coffin Joe trilogy, which we'll keep doing. Part 2, This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. That's the title of the movie. So at first I thought that the algorithm singled out the word corpse, or coffin maybe, because coffins and corpses in regards to a horror film are, oh, don't talk about that. A lot of my Game of Thrones reaction videos have been struck, not for anything particular. I'm guessing because I call it Game of Booze. That might be on me. I don't know, because I'm promoting booze. I'm promoting you to drink safely at home watching a TV show and don't do anything after said TV show. Just take it all in, absorb it, and sleep. My Tommy Wiseau video, I'm guessing because the algorithm saw that I used the word sex in the title with regards to me reading the Yelp review of the bar I used to go to that someone alleged had a sex dungeon in it. And it wasn't a very descriptive review either. It was just funny. Ichi the Killer got struck with limited or no monetization. I'm guessing, again, this is all just speculation because this algorithm doesn't tell you specifically what singles any particular video out as being not advertiser friendly. I'm guessing it's because there's killer in the title. Riccio, the story of Ricky. I have no idea why. Maybe because there's a fake severed head on the video thumbnail, which is clearly fake because it's clearly paper mache. Battle of the Bastards, maybe because of bastard. My Let Me Get This Straight video of DC villains responding to the Suicide Squad trailer. A cute little video that I had Liz do the Harley Quinn voice on, in which they're just talking about like, the trailer looks fine, but we've been fooled before. It got struck. I'm guessing just because the word suicide is in the title. The word suicide for a movie called Suicide Squad. But, double standard here. My To the Chat Cave, in which Max and I review and talk about Assault on Arkham and Suicide Squad and compare the two, fully monetized. Completely okay. Completely fine. Which you'd think, according to the algorithm's logic, it wouldn't be, because not only does it have suicide in the title description, and the keyword probably, but also assault in the keyword description and title. Granted, the context of those two words in relation to the actual video, completely different from what I'm guessing a lot of really sensitive people would probably have. You know? I don't know. Making a Murderer talk with Liz and Jason. I'm guessing because murderer was in the title. Horror talk. Vengeance of the Zombies got hit. And then the rest are Game of Boozes, which I could kind of see that towing the line. Because, yeah, I do take a sip of beer every once in a while, or I take a shot every once in a while. But it's not like I go out and drive down the street or get into bar fights or anything of that nature. It's just me there yelling at my TV when stuff gets terrible in Westeros. So far, that's what has been flagged. Oh, I forgot. My Hardcore Henry review. My review of the OK POV film Hardcore Henry. I'm guessing because two things. I'm guessing because the word hardcore is in the title, maybe. Or because the thumbnail is a picture of the poster, the actual poster that was released for mass distribution of someone's point of view shooting guns, apparently at what looks like me, which is the whole point of the movie and the whole point of that thumbnail, to be kind of comedic. It's not like I'm dead in the thumbnail or anything. I just look shocked and surprised. But because it's from the point of view of someone shooting a gun, I'm guessing that's why the algorithm's like, no, don't do that. So I've put in a lot of requests for these things to be reviewed because I feel, if someone were to actually run their eye over this content, they would see it's completely harmless. It's benign. It has nothing to do with whatever all social media is knee-jerking to right now, whether it's politics, whether it is legitimate hate speech, or legitimate violence being broadcasted. My channel is so far removed from any of that stuff. And so that is ultimately the huge crux of the matter for me, is not that I'm not making money off of this. That's an annoyance, certainly. But I'm not that popular a page, and my hits, my views on videos don't ratchet up into the thousands, let alone millions or anything like that, to justify my income or my ad revenue being dented in the slightest. This is honestly not affecting me in the least when it comes to money. What I'm concerned about is that this is not just symptomatic of this platform, again, buckling under advertiser pressure to be more what we consider mainstream or family friendly. It's also a sign of where this is heading, where this could factor in not just to the demonetization, but into determining what content goes up on YouTube ultimately. Now, I'm in full agreement with community guidelines as of right now. I feel they are stringent enough and that they are specific enough in community guidelines as to what is not cool on this platform. And whatever might be misinterpreted, it should be a case-by-case basis. That's why you need the actual human interaction on this site. That's why you need something, not this algorithm, to actually review content and determine if it indeed falls under violation of community guidelines or if it was just a miscommunication or misrepresentation of the material by someone complaining. The fact that they're leaving a lot of people's livelihood up to the mercy of a program that can't differentiate between actual content and the context of that content and just terminology or, alert words that they're on the lookout for, perhaps. That's troubling. Because, like I said, that would ultimately lead to a platform-wide sanitization, which would cut out probably a lot of your favorite creators. A lot of the higher-ranking, popular creators, they made a living off of talking about controversial stuff. And not necessarily agreeing with the controversial stuff, just talking about it. Offering up both sides of the argument as best they can about maintaining objectivity. It's a little disheartening, especially since when YouTube does stuff right, like when it got my back, when it protected my content from being preyed upon by a channel just in it to make a profit off of my work. They did it right, and I'm grateful to them for that. But this is kind of the backhand to that pat on the back, let's say. Because there's another creator on here who before I even started this podcast, just subscribed to because I like what the guy had to say. And it's basically different context with regards to his content, but pretty much he puts those points out there. And I'm going to link his video as well. His page is Man on the Silver Mountain. And the video I'll link to you is YouTube demonetizing everything for no reason, which, is what this comes across as. When it feels as though they're just doing it as a general blanket restriction, not even having an actual person go over the content. And I don't know, maybe that is too much of a hassle, seeing as how there's millions upon millions of contributors on this site. But you know what? That's why you probably would want to, let's say, dedicate a whole division of YouTube to just that. I don't know. If the advertisers are such a vital thing for you, you'd think you'd want more quality of assurance with your claims and with what you deem worthy or unworthy of being advertiser friendly. You'd want that to rest in the hands of people who actually watch the videos or who'd actually tune into the stuff that the advertisers associate themselves with, as opposed to just a program that's kicking things off of them left and right based off of really, I don't even know what. Like, explain to me what the program's justification is for what is the criteria. There's no specific criteria here aside from what we're given in the help tab and stuff like that of what is not advertiser friendly. And even that is extremely vague. What specifically isn't advertiser friendly that this algorithm is seeking out or is determining based off of viewing a video or seeing that a video has been uploaded for 2 minutes without running through the entirety of a 17-minute video and saying, okay, after reviewing this video, not worthy. Because it starts here with the monetization And it's going to build up to you actually not being able to post anything. Because God knows why. Because they won't tell you exactly what you're doing wrong, apparently. And that's the thing. I mean, it's one thing, yeah, take videos of people being beheaded off. Certainly, that's horrific. That's terrible. That is hate speech and violent and repulsive. But someone just voicing their opinion, someone just talking about something, someone like myself just critiquing a piece of pop culture, nothing even that serious. I'm not denouncing the president in this video. I'm not, supporting any extreme militants. I'm not talking about anything based in the harsh real world. I'm talking about the Defenders and the Tick. And talking about how, yeah, they're okay. They could have been better, but they're okay. And for some reason, some advertiser out there was like, oh, don't recommend that. And that's the thing. It's probably not even the advertiser. I understand. You have to appease the people who pay the bills. And advertisers right now, in conjunction with Google and YouTube, they're the lifeblood. I get it. But I'm pretty sure maybe even the advertisers themselves aren't aware of the blanket restrictions that are going across here. And I feel it is all very reactionary to a lot of this real world stuff that's taking place. Because this wasn't even an issue until about around Charlottesville. That's when this demonetization stuff really came out in full force. Now, it had been going on for a while with the adpocalypse for several months before. Now, apparently, they just rolled out another iteration of it, saying like, okay, here's even more stringent criteria we're not going to notify you about. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I can't say what's going on in the mindset of the inner workings of YouTube, aside from a series of ones and zeros. But this is kind of getting to the core of a lot of censorship issues. Is that, you know what? You're just going to censor things across the board from whatever way of life, whatever viewpoint, whatever opinion, whatever voice, without giving us, a criteria to work along, without giving us the idea of what your structure is that you want us to adhere to. I'm sure if they came out and said, here's what you can and can't say, a lot of your YouTubers who make their living off of this, they would fall in line pretty quick. Or maybe not. The thing is that there's no other platform out there right now to challenge YouTube with regards to the availability and with regards to the wide array of content. And that's why I like Blip so much, was because Blip seemed very kind of laid back about it. Now, maybe that was part of its undoing. Who knows? But I don't believe so, because Blip was owned by Maker Studios, which is, I believe, a division of Disney, which, let's face it, as great as Disney is with churning out product, they're all about being family friendly, reining things in, and being like, can't we all just be pleasant? Well, guess what? Being conformist and being pleasant all the time leads to a lot of boring entertainment and boring content. It's coming. The day where I can't even get on here and create a podcast telling you about my story of what's going on my channel. My right on this platform to tell you what's going on, not just in my life, but with regards to my YouTube life. The day's going to come where they're going to be like, no, you can't talk about that. Why? Well, because it doesn't appeal to our wide array of young viewers. What exactly doesn't appeal to it? You're talking about the fallacy of YouTube. And YouTube's owned by Google, and Google's placating to this advertiser, and the advertiser doesn't want any challenging viewpoints. Conform. It's where it's going. And the sad thing is like, this is where it doesn't need to go, because there are way bigger issues taking place, which, frankly, again, is kind of giving me the perspective of like, this is really peanuts compared to what's going on out there in the real world, people. I just need to vent about it, and I'm going to move on with my day. I'm going to keep creating videos. My channel's in the green as far as, falling within community guidelines. I play by the rules. Haven't had any strikes or anything of that nature. It's a little disconcerting, because I want others to be able to enjoy this platform for what it was. what it could still be. When I had to leave Blip, I did feel very welcome coming onto the YouTube platform. It was a good ride, and it is still a good ride at times. But whenever they try to do this, whenever they do have to bend the knee, as it were, to appease larger corporations, because they themselves want to be those corporations, and they want, I get it. It is a business, but there's a lot that they're sacrificing. They're sacrificing kind of the homespun grassroots sensibilities that YouTube started off with, and kind of betraying what they originally may have intended. So keep your chin up, folks. I will. Like I said, this isn't my main source of income. If another platform comes along in which I could find more advantageous or more profitable, I'll give it a shot, certainly. But I'll stick with YouTube for right now because, you know what? It is a great side project I got going here. I enjoy doing this stuff. I enjoy creating stuff with my compatriots over at 3 Geeks and Never Ending Radical Dude. Not just them, but also bringing on friends like Josh, bringing on interesting and comedic voices like Mercer Morrison. You know, supporting my other smaller channels such as Arc Matter. I'm all about that. I'm all about the community that this is supposed to represent. And I want more people in this community of various viewpoints and various voices. But something has to kind of give here, YouTube, with regards to that, because you're going to lose those voices. Promising talent is going to turn away. And the talent you already have here, they're going to start looking for greener pastures. They already are looking for greener pastures. So, I don't know. I believe a resolution could be just get more hands-on. Keep that human aesthetic in the machine. Like I said, dedicate a whole division to overseeing advertiser-friendly content. And make sure you have, as much as you put effort into the community guidelines, that you have a series of very stringent rules as to what the advertisers are looking for, so that we know what to provide them. Because I would love to placate advertisers too. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't know rule 1 of that unless you tell me. Because you are my conduit. You are my middleman, YouTube. You had my back a month ago. You really came through for me in a pinch. Myself, along with a lot of other smaller creators and even bigger creators, would appreciate if you could come through again. All right, enough of that. Here's a tale from Wookieepedia with Mark Espinoza. Have fun. And again, thanks for listening to a McChats here on McGTV. YouTube.com/MikeMcGTV. Follow me on Twitter @MikeMcGTV. Enjoy me and Mark talking about the world of Star Wars. Good night. So this is your first time doing a Wookieepedia, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just making sure.
I don't know what to expect.
All right. So Mark has volunteered to listen to another tale from Wookieepedia. Holy crap, there's a lot written about this particular topic. All right.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'll give you the... Okay. I'm going to start with a quote. This is a character from Star Wars. And like I said before, I pick a random character or aspect of Star Wars. A couple of times we talked about Minox. Our last Wookieepedia, I talked with the 3 Geeks guys about Porkins.
I like more. Fan favorite
Porkins, yeah. This is another character from that same episode, A New Hope, from the original Star Wars, I should say, because I know a lot of people hate when you say A New Hope.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to give you the quote from this character.
All right.
And then I'll give you the quote that follows this character from another character.
Got it. Okay.
Let me see if I can do the voice justice. And here's the follow-up quote from his friend. He doesn't like you. Any guesses?
Oh.
Do you know the character that was like that?
God, it's the is it the dude with the walrus mouth?
It is the dude with the walrus mouth. Do you happen to know his in continuity name?
No, I don't. I can I'm picturing him. I'm his little brown, gray little butt mouth.
For the longest time, I think he was just known as Buttmouth to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. No,
Well,
I don't know his name. Damn it.
His name is Ponda Baba.
Ponda Baba.
Ponda Baba.
That's upsetting. I had that in my head somewhere.
So, I'm going to give you the rundown on the life and times of Ponda Baba.
Please.
Ponda Baba was a male Aqualish thug who rescued Dr. Cornelius Evanzan from a bounty hunter.
That's the other dude he's with.
Yeah,
right?
pig face or messed up face, dude.
Or no arm guy.
Well, the two formed a partnership and began to smuggle spice for the crime lord, Jabba the Hutt, resulting in him becoming a wanted man. Shortly before the Battle of Yavin, he was a patron in Chalmun's Cantina on the planet Tatooine. So the cantina is actually called something. Okay.
Wow, so we're getting a lot of backstory here.
Yeah. Chalmun's Cantina. Now, I'm going to do kind of a quick segue. Is this the same cantina that B. Arthur sings in? Nah.
Oh, in the Christmas episode?
Yeah.
Probably.
We'll get into that another day. I'm going to see if B. Arthur has her own entry on Wookieepedia at some point.
Oh, she's got her character? Totally.
Yeah. All right. So, where were we? Chalmun's Cantina. Shortly before the Battle of Yavin, he was a patron in Chalmun's Cantina on the planet Tatooine, where he instigated an argument with Luke Skywalker while bored and drunk. So he was drunk. Didn't know he was bored, though.
He was looking for a fight.
Yeah. Itching for it, you would say.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Evazan claimed that Baba did not like Skywalker and began to threaten the youth, leading to a brief confrontation with Obi-Wan Kenobi, who, after failing to calm tensions with the pirates, because he's a crappy Jedi like that, used his lightsaber to sever Baba's right arm and wound Evazan with a slash across the torso, when the pair drew their blaster pistols on the old man, who was, in secret, one of the last remaining Jedi Masters of the nearly extinct Jedi Order. Evazan later tried to reattach Baba's arm using his medical training.
It seems like it didn't go well.
Yeah, I guess. But ended up nearly killing the Aqualish in the process when the procedure failed. Well, he was a doctor, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's in his name.
So, here we go. Originally from the planet Ando, Ponda Baba was a burly Aqualish thug who rescued Evazan, and we go on this. A doctor who was infamous for the cruelty he inflicted upon his patients.
Jesus, okay.
Probably not the best doctor to reattach an arm. Smuggle spice. Became wanted men, because they like to boast that they're wanted men.
Yeah, spice must flow. That's important.
Here we go. Their working relationship wasn't always pleasant, however, and Baba even briefly considered turning Evazan in to collect the bounty on his head before realizing that their ongoing partnership was more profitable. Still, the two considered each other friends despite their differences. Guess.
Yeah, I'm happy they were able to work through it, though.
Yeah, work through it. While on Jeddah with Evazan, they came across Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor briefly before heading to Tatooine. So, that is actually them. It wasn't just a very loose reference.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, they had to have taken off really fast to avoid that Death Star blast.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, like how... hey, if it's in the Wookieepedia, it happened.
It's not like people go to laborious detail about the littlest things.
No.
I just want to know what happened after, besides the reattaching of the arm.
Yeah, it was kind of ruined their day a little bit, I think. They had a whole weekend planned.
Oh, here we go. A little bit of business. Following the altercation at the cantina where he lost his arm and everything like that, those present in the cantina briefly turned to see what had transpired before returning to their business. However, a departing patron, Garuf Lafou, decided to inform a squad of Mos Eisley sand troopers of the attack. So,
classic Yafoof, whatever his name was.
That darn Lafou, that darn Garuf. Evazan tried to reattach Baba's arm using his medical training, but ended up nearly killing him. Ponda would later regret bullying that blonde human teenager.
Wait, human?
Yeah. Oh, well, at least he was remorseful.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
Yeah, well, he wasn't remorseful because he was only upset because he got in trouble. Like, if he
yeah,
didn't get his arm cut off, he would have been okay with messing with Luke.
but he was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have done that."
I forgot that my actions have consequences.
Skywalker later recalled his encounter with Baba while he was training with his own lightsaber in the Temple of Edit on Deveron. I don't know where that is, but okay. Okay, so that was pretty brief. I didn't know that after. I was always curious, like, what's the story after the altercation? So
I kind of like the idea that, like, years later, Luke is meditating in some temple, and he just kind of, like, whimsically reminisces on the time that, like, Obi-Wan cut off that dude's arm. Like, oh yeah,
oh,
was a good day.
Obi-Wan, such a prankster.
I mean, I guess that was kind of a big day for him, right?
I guess, yeah. Saw what the old codger was capable of.
Yeah, like his aunt and uncle died. He started off on an adventure. Met Leia, met Han.
Mm-hmm.
That was day one.
Got knocked out by a sand person.
Sucker.
I always like to go with the robot chicken version of Ponda Baba.
I like that. Yeah, like he was like a promising like architect or whatever.
Yeah. And Evazan was
like,
his annoying coworker.
I'll go out for one drink.
Yeah, I'll go out for one drink. What's the harm?
I didn't say that. Tell him I didn't say. Yeah,
exactly.
What are you doing?
He wasn't antagonizing Luke. He was complimenting him on his hair or something.
Yeah, I didn't say that. What are you saying to him?
I always like that version better. I don't like to think of him as a thug. I was kind of hoping to get into a little bit more detail. Like, did he go on to live a full? Let's get into Legends really quick here. I want to see.
Okay.
Legends is the other tab that goes into detail about, what happened after, perhaps in the expanded universe. Let me just see if there's something.
I do kind of like the idea that, like the journey of like Luke is like at all the crossroads. He hits other people who are kind of go off on have adventures. Like oh, just some random guy at a bar, but then that guy ends up being like the mayor of Palookaville on planet Wisecracker.
Here we go. So we went over how Evazan tried to reattach the arm and it almost killed him. Mm-hmm. So after that,
Prime.
That should be his name, right? So after the two parted ways, Baba swore to impart vengeance on his former partner. After a partial reconciliation, they reunited and set up a base in the castle on Ando. Evazan had created a mind-transferring machine.
Oh, dang, okay.
Okay, which Baba hoped would give him a new body. Evazan lured an Anduin senator to the castle, then trapped him in his machine. When Baba was in place, Evazan started the machine. Their bodies switched. Ponda Baba had the senator's body, but the senator, now in Baba's body, escaped the machine and chased them to the rooftop.
Well, that didn't work out as planned.
Yeah, that backfired really fast.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not so much that bad circumstance. You guys are just bad criminals.
Yeah, I think they're just bad at their jobs.
He tried to kill the doctor and Baba with a thermal detonator, but they jumped off of the roof before the detonator exploded, which killed the senator. Ponda Baba and Evazan swore vengeance on each other again.
Oh, great, but now in a new body.
Ponda Baba was later wanted by the Corellian security force for attacking various locations on Corellia's neighboring planet Talus, with the help of his Aqualish gang, the followers of Baba.
But now he's in the body of a senator, right? He could have just gone back and pretended to be the senator, right? Hypothetically?
I guess. That is weird, yeah. He doesn't
He's like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go back to living in the streets. It's like, dude, you have a mansion on, like,
Yeah, live it up a little bit. However, the core sect could not take him in themselves, so they hired a spacer instead, who was successful in capturing Ponda Baba and dispersing the rest of his gang. At one point in the planet of Bathawi, the Botham police officer Krasik Lolar shot Baba twice with a stun bolt, knocking him out. And apparently
Classic Lolar.
Yeah. Oh, that Lolar. And apparently that's where his story ends, being knocked out by a cop.
Good for him.
Well, yeah, all things considered.
Mediocre death for a mediocre guy.
Yeah. Especially if he went so long, like, first of all, without an arm, then second of all, not using his new body to any sort of advantage.
Nope.
So, very quiet story in the world of Star Wars.
Yes, well, it is hundreds of planets, so I guess there's gonna be occasional boring ones, right?
Yeah, I was expecting him to have like a grand like warrior, like he was gonna become like this warlord or something, but nope, just gets knocked out.
He returned to his garden and then lived there happily ever after. Like, whoa, that's it? All right.
I'm gonna see if that actually has an entry somewhere here in Wookieepedia. Like, there's just got to be a character who's like, and they lived happily ever after with their rose garden. The end. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe B. Arthur has that ending.
We'll see. Yes. And then she went back to her room and partied the night away.
It's now all my friends. Whatever that song was. Well, thanks for letting me regale you with a tale from Wookieepedia.
Oh, anytime.
And have a good night, sir.
Oh, you too. Thanks, man.